Rook and bishop versus rook endgames are extremely difficult to master. And every time under time pressure, many of the top players also go wrong. Just to understand where did Alexander Riazentsev go wrong in this game against MVL, this is a critical moment. Here Riazentsev goes for rook a5 check, which is fine. And after king f4, he blunders here with the move king h6. This is a mistake because after rook g6 check, which was a good move found by MVL, now you can't go to h7 because then I just move my rook and give you a check with my bishop and pick up your rook. So you must go to h5, and now MVL found a tremendous move here. He played the move rook to b6, and his point is that he wants to give a check from here, and then when the king moves he wants to checkmate with rook h6 check. So bishop e2 and rook h6 is a threat, and here after a check bishop came in. And now the next threat is just simply to play your rook to b7 and checkmate from here. He went rook c4, but imagine that he had no moves left. If he goes this side, then there is check with the bishop and the rook comes in, and otherwise he had to keep this pin going. He cannot move his king, so it's already a lost position. He went here, but after rook b7 you don't have the move here to block, so it's already a forced mate. There's no way to stop it. So the key error here was king h6, which allowed rook g6, and it was lost. What he should have done is given a check instead, and after bishop e4, here is a moment where you can pause and think, because it's the only move for white to find by which he can hold a draw. Yes, the move is rook to a6, because if you play king h6 in order to escape from the mate, rook g6 check simply wins the game, because after this you have already seen after rook b6 this is a winning position. So rook a6 played, and then now I want to block with my rook. If you give me a check here, I'll just simply block with my rook. So you go let's say rook g1, trying to checkmate from the other end, but after king h6 check king g7, the king escapes and it is a draw. This is not the only variation that exists in the position, but gives you a good idea of how white could have hung on, and with very little time it's always very difficult to hold, and MVL managed to beat his opponent.
Life is full of exciting events, but it is our first impressions that we remember best. Your first diploma, your first job in a big company, unforgettable emotions from the first date, the first expensive things you bought when you got your first paycheck, and your first investments with Freedom Broker. Freedom Broker. Look at your favorite brands from a new perspective.